Mikaela,
Hi.
welcome to the show. Thanks for being on.
Anytime.
Awesome, I appreciate it. How was the drive here?
Oh, it was pretty boring. No cars.
Boring? No cars?
No cars.
Did you get rain at all, or?
No, nothing right here.
No. Yeah, that's good. So, what was your transition like from high school to university?
So I would say for me it was probably simpler than most people because I did a victory lap. So I did my extra year at high school. All my friends had gone to university and experienced all of the troubles of first year, and then I just went, hey, what do I need to know? And they were like, oh, buy this parking pass, don't take this class. So it made it a lot easier for me, and the fact that I knew a lot of people going into some of my classes also helped. Because I had a lot of general law classes, and there was a lot of people from my high school that were in them. So that was definitely a bonus.
So you say that's like a life hack of yours?
Oh, yeah. The extra year, total life hack.
Do you think, however, it'd be, there's that victory lap, but then I also know people who go and do 1 year just in like, similar to nursing idea, where they do like a pre-health, or they do some beginner course, like a general course in university, and then they go and do a course that like means something to them that they actually want to pursue.
I had contemplated that. I was thinking about going to Cambridge and just doing general arts or something along those lines. But because I went back to high school, I was able to do a co-op placement, and so I did my co-op placement at a law firm.
Oh, cool.
And that's when I was like, oh, law is what I want to go into.
Nice.
So it was more beneficial for me in that sense because I had somewhat of an idea of what I wanted to do. But I find the people that don't know what they want to do, going and doing their general year is definitely worthwhile.
That's good. What made you, what was the moment that made it click for you, if there was one, when you were at the law firm?
It was the first day of my second week.
Nice.
I literally
It was 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, no.
It was sunny.
It was more like 9 a.m.
Okay.
And I was sitting there, and the lawyer came over, and he goes, you did a really good job on this file last week. He goes, can you do this? And I was like, ooh, I like that feeling. I was like, yep, this is what I want to do.
The thing flowed?
Yeah, anytime. Yeah.
Unreal.
So it was definitely that moment. I was like, yeah,
That's
this is
perfect.
what I want to do.
That's good. So, what do you want to do in law? Like just normal, I'm not sure that it like insurance law. Educate me.
Educate you. Okay. So
what's the
I'm
difference?
taking labor studies at Laurentian so that I can get into law school, and my goal is to go into labor law, so the employment side of it. Hopefully working for a union.
Nice.
If not, we'll manage, but pro-union.
We will
just
manage.
saying. Yeah. So hopefully go to law school. There's a couple law schools that have labor law streams, so that's like the ultimate end goal. But then otherwise, see what happens.
Okay. So perfect world. How does that look? What does that look like? What do those next few years of school look like? Which one do you want to get into?
Perfect world. Get into Osgoode Hall, which is at York University.
Nice.
So I'd get in with a really good scholarship because it is hella expensive. Extremely expensive.
And would you get a scholarship?
If my grades are good enough, and so far they are, I just need to keep it up for the next 2 years, and then I'll
I'm sure if you made it through the last couple of years without even that going on, you should. Yeah,
no problem. I'm good.
Yeah, light work the rest of the way.
Yeah. Get into Osgoode because they have a labor law stream.
Right.
So I'd do the labor law stream and then do 3 years of law school there. And then once it came time for my articling, the ultimate goal is to end up at ONA, which is Ontario Nurses Association, and do my articling with them. Because that'll get me back to Sudbury eventually. I don't want to live in Toronto for the rest of my life. It drives me crazy. So my dad works for ONA, and he's like, yeah, they have articling students. They all really like my dad, which really helps.
Okay, nice.
Throw my last name in there.
Top of the pile.
Just saying. Yeah. Article there, work down south for a couple years until I can move up to the north office and then work from Sudbury.
Nice.
That's perfect world.
That's perfect world. So that's like next 5 years?
6.
5.
6. Yeah. I got a while to go.
I'm sweating. How do you manage that? What's it like how do you stay motivated to that? Because you've already done, you're going into your 3rd year?
Yeah, going into 3.
Oh man.
Some days it's really hard. There was one point, first semester, second year, where I was literally sitting at my desk at home and I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I'm not going to law school. I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm not going to law school. I'll just work in labor relations for the rest of my life.
I'll settle.
And I was like, it's fine.
Dad, I'm gonna settle. Put my name at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, basically. And then my boyfriend at the time was like, no, you can do it, and I know you want to do it. You just need to keep remembering that this is what you want to do. This is what you love. So I kind of push through it. I do have those moments often. I'm sure third year will bring many, many more, but just gotta keep thinking that it's the end goal.
You know, personally, I think that moment in that relationship is what that relationship was for you.
Yeah.
Because there are like, I'm a firm believer on people can come into your life for the very, very, very short amount of time and make such a huge impact. And I feel as much as that wasn't like, they weren't in your life for like forever, but they were in for a while, right? Hefty chunk.
Yeah.
And so yeah, hefty chunk of time, but one moment, just because you think you honestly would. Like honestly, I'm at the point where I want to drop out for you, just from what I'm hearing. Like, I don't know.
I've definitely thought about it. I was like, nope, not gonna go to law school. The undergrad's fine. Like I can get through the last 2 years, but like I'm thinking about all the work and all of that stuff, and I'm just kind of like, oh no, you know what, like it'll be worth it in the end. I'll get a job that I love, because I know I love doing the work. I've known that from working at the law firm.
Right.
So hopefully
that's good.
I just keep remembering that in my head. I've got a little post-it note on my desk actually that just says, remember that class, because that's the law firm I've ever done. I was like, remember that.
Nice. So what do you feel is like a lesson, your biggest lesson you learned from that experience when you first decided that you wanted to be a lawyer at that level?
Take your time. Everybody like that I graduated high school with rushed like right in. They just picked a program that they got accepted to, whether it was their first choice or not.
Right.
And a ton of them went into biomedical biology. And now they're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. And they're like graduating next year. They're going into their 4th year, they're graduating. They have no idea what they want to do. They have no chance of getting into med school because their grades aren't good. Like, it's rough. And so they're like, oh, maybe I'll take a second degree. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. And I'm like, I took my time. I'm glad I did. And if anybody was to ask me what to do, take your time. If you don't know, take the year. Because I almost went into gerontology.
Oh, what's that?
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Gerontology?
Gerontology. It's like the study of the aging process. Okay, I don't particularly enjoy old people. So I'm really glad I didn't go into that, because I had applied and I got accepted. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to Laurentian for gerontology. And then I was sitting there and I was like, why would I want to do that for the rest of my life? And then my parents were just kind of like, whoa, girl, chill, take a breather. What do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, okay, do a victory lap or go to Cambrian for a year and do general arts. Don't take a year off.
Spend some money, or do nothing, or redo last year high school and improve.
Pretty chill though, yeah. I took like easier classes, like I took economics. Yeah, it's not easy, but economics, just so I'd have like a base of economics, because it's always good to know those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I took like business class. I took law in French and all that fun stuff.
Nice. What's your opinion on socialist countries?
That's a good question. Don't necessarily have one. We try to forget them.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't agree.
No? What about capitalist countries?
Still not necessarily agreeing. There's not one structure that I entirely agree with. Like, you can't look at me and be like, oh, this is better than this one. I'll be like, this one has its perks. Yes, this aspect of it is good, this aspect of it isn't. But yeah, you gotta mix and jumble to get the best outcome, but that'll never happen, because it's just never happen.
So you should run for office.
No.
Yeah, I'll write you in.
No, I should not.
I'll write you in. Let's get it going, everybody. We'll write her in.
No.
I'll write her in.
It's not happening.
I'll write in you 1 year after Liam served. Because like he's a bit older, so.
Yeah. I'd rather stick to my law at my desk, not dealing with the general public.
That's good. So there was a quote I read a couple years back. I think it was grade 10. No, it was in second year, and the quote was like, "You need 3 friends." Okay, I think it was 3 friends. Yeah, so it was 3 friends, right? One who's a lawyer, one who's a cop. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, a judge or like a banker, or like someone like that, like someone with like money or power, right?
Okay.
Because that's what you need to be.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can be my lawyer person. I got a couple people who are cops. I think my buddy wants to be a cop, but like every month he changes his mind. Okay. So that's pretty reliable. And then I know a couple people in the bank, but we'll see.
There you go. I'll hook you up with a couple judges.
Yes!
We'll get you that connection.
Yes, let's go, baby. Let's go. Woo! Oh, that'll be fun. I'm too excited right now. All right. So, in all that you learned and everything, right up to now, what's been something that stood out for you as like your least favorite moment of your university career so far? University related, personal,
University related,
or emotional, nothing really.
My least favorite thing was one of my profs. Actually, she was a lawyer once upon a time. She went to law school, worked as a lawyer for a while, and now she was like the head of law and justice. And that's my minor, so I had to take a couple of her classes. And she was not the nicest or the most accommodating, and it made the whole experience so frustrating because second semester I had her class and it was Introduction to Private Law, which is really interesting to me because that's like the area of labor studies, like that's employment law. I was like, yeah, super pumped for this class. Get there first day, my midterm is scheduled for the day after I leave for my Europe trip that I've had planned for a year. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring it up to her really soon because I've heard not so nice things about her. I was like, she's not gonna be very accommodating. I was like, I'm gonna bring it up to her very beginning of the semester so she has time to figure it out. Okay, she gives us the questions for the midterm in advance. She'll give us like 30, and then on the midterm there was 12, and we pick 10.
Okay.
So it's not like she had to make up different questions for me. Nothing. And she looked at me and she goes, well, that was dumb of you.
What?
Like, excuse me? And she's like, what made you think that taking on a trip in the middle of the term was a good idea? And I was like, traveling is always a good idea? Question mark. And so like I literally had this whole email chain with her, and she's like, while it was unwise of you to take this on during the term, I'll allow it seeing as you are such a good student. So she made me get a letter from the teachers from my old high school that I was going with saying that I was a chaperone. I wasn't actually a chaperone. Don't tell Neff. Shh. She made me get a letter and state why they chose me as a chaperone. So like these were both my French immersion teachers from high school, and they loved me, and I was like teacher's pet back then. So I was like,
back then.
Okay, still kind of am. It's fine. But
we had coffee yesterday, the three of us.
Actually, we're going for dinner next week.
Well, enjoy sushi.
But yeah, so she made me get that for her to move it 2 days up. I didn't even ask to write it when I came back 3 weeks later. I asked it to write it 2 days before I left. And it was like a 3-week long ordeal to get her to change it. That was one of my I want to drop out moments.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm tired of this.
Drop out now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That wasn't your recent Europe trip. That was the one.
That was recent.
That was the most recent one you did? Yeah.
The one I did this year, 2019.
That's stressful.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Come on. What the fuck?
It was not a good
I was
time.
like, and with curling being so close?
It overlapped. Curling overlapped. So I came home from Europe, and then I went straight to New Brunswick.
Like you
I
didn't land in
come
Sudbury.
home. No,
you went
I
to
landed
Pearson,
in Toronto.
And then you left Pearson and went.
And I went to New Brunswick. Yeah. Yeah. And she was like, I think the only reason she was kind of okay with it in the end was because we made it to nationals, so she knew part of my trip was nationals.
Like, you know what? All right.
We'll
You're done. We'll relax. That's
Yeah.
awesome though.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I guess.
So pulling my hair out, man. But that's 3 weeks to make a decision for.
Yeah, it was the most stressful 3 weeks of my life. So I got her the letter like right away. It was literally 3 days after this whole ordeal, and I gave her the letter. She didn't answer me for a week and a half. So I like walked up to her after class one day, and I was like, so
Hey,
just so
madame.
I know like what's happening, because otherwise I was losing 25% of my grade. 25%, yeah, that's how much my midterms were. 25%, and it was at like 50 marks or something. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, I'm not missing out on that because
That's silly.
gonna
It was
get
like
rid
a
of my straight
10%
A's. Like,
quiz.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was 10% quiz, I would have just
Be like,
everything,
peace.
like, I don't care.
Here I come, Italy.
25%, different story. Yeah, it's all about the percentage. You gotta think, is it worthwhile to do it? Is it not?
Right. I was letting me. It's like, how much of all my effort goes into this 5% discussion board? Do Monday. Do Monday.
Do Monday. Literally, do Monday, spend 10 minutes on
Yeah.
it, and submit it. Yeah, that was all my discussion posts.
My hack with discussion posts, and we'll get to yours in a second, where it was like, because I want to hear yours. So mine, I'd wait for like an hour before it's due, read every single person's, take a first point from one, second point from the middle. Sorry, Mom, I know you're watching because it's a female guest, otherwise you won't support the show. But
Thanks, Mom.
that's my my hack. It's not plagiarism. It's tactical.
You just change the sentence enough and they never know.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can have the same ideas as somebody else. You just gotta change the sentence enough.
Sometimes I make it plural.
Order.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, you
Go
just gotta
1 and
work
3, 4, and then
Yeah.
I just switch, and then I'll just answer one question in one, and then not answer one in another. So it's kind of how it worked out, though. But
100%.
what's your hack?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
I was always like one of the last people to post. There was one semester where we had discussion posts and like nobody posted ever. They just didn't do them, and I was like, oh my god, I actually have to use my brain. So I'm like reading the textbook for once in my life. I'm like, oh wow, I actually can answer a question for myself now. I feel so important.
Nice. That's good.
time.
So you mentioned your Europe trip.
Yes.
Can you list to me what countries in the world? We'll switch to the traveling portion of this.
Okay.
These questions.
I
So
like
tell me about your Europe trip. From how it started to how it ended, like the whole bus rides and everything, where you went, what you did.
Okay. It was 11 days. We drove down to Toronto from Sudbury. When we flew out of Toronto and we flew right into London. We flew to Heathrow, and that's where we started our trip. So we had 2 days in London and like the surrounding areas.
Right.
Yeah, we went to go see Big Ben, even though it was half in scaffolding because it was getting renovated.
Oh, still cool though?
It was still cool. They still had like one face open,
Oh,
and then we did like the London Eye, and you could see the one portion of it that was open, the Big Ben that was open from the London Eye, so that was pretty cool. Although I'm terrified of heights. I literally thought I was going to pee my pants that whole ride.
How high is it?
For most people, it's not like that high. I don't know the exact measurements.
Right.
But like for somebody who's scared of heights, and I was in there with a
Yeah.
teacher that was also scared of heights, and we were literally like standing in the middle of the car, and we were like, "Don't come near me." And my sister kept like pushing me towards the edge. She's like, "Mikaela, come on, come take a picture, come take a
Can't
picture."
his sister
And I
no
was
more.
Like, I was like, oh. We got off. I booked it out of there.
Oh,
I was
I
gone
believe
so
it.
fast. Great experience. You could see everything, but I was gone so fast. I was like, I can't be in there anymore.
Jeez.
It's like a tiny little bubble up high. Not good. Not a good mix.
Man, and you and your teacher getting that trickle down fear from each other.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it was not a good time.
No, I believe it. That's terrifying.
And
But
it like poured rain the whole time because you know it's London. It's gonna rain.
is it? Like, is that normal?
Yeah, it's normal for it to rain there. You know, everybody talks about like, oh, it's raining in London again. Haha, surprise. It's not a surprise. Like it's normal as all hell. We had umbrellas with us at all times, rain jackets. We were always bundled up walking down the streets. It was a little frustrating because the group of girls that I hung out with the whole time, 2 of them had peanut allergies.
You can't have allergies if you're traveling in Europe. I'm sorry,
know.
you can't. You're
so
not
it was
allowed.
fine when we were in England because we could at least
Frustrating.
communicate better with the people. We speak the same language.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, love.
We did not.
My name's Mikaela.
We did not use accents. We
No,
used
I would have fucking went for it.
I should have done
I gotta
that.
see
Next
Sophie
time I
after.
go, I'm going to do that. But after London, we went to France, and that's when it became a little bit more difficult because even though we spoke French, Parisian French is significantly different than Canadian French.
It sounds nice.
And they but they look at you like, really, you're trying to talk to me in French right now?
Are you from Quebec?
They ask that every single time.
Yeah, every time. I got this so many times.
Quebec, and I'm like,
I'm just trying to be polite, okay?
I figured it'd be easier to communicate with you in French than in English, but
Clearly
thanks for
not.
trying. Yeah, basically. I gave a lot of big ol' fuck yous to a lot of people in Paris.
Paris is, okay, my buddy James said it the whole trip, and then our last visit to a major city was Paris. He said it was overrated. He said it's overrated.
100%.
What do you think? Yeah?
I would not go back.
Oh.
I had gone on my first trip, and like I was like, nah, not really
Eiffel
a
Tower.
fan.
That's it.
Did the Eiffel Tower, cried because I was scared of heights.
No,
I went up and
me
took a
too.
picture by the edge, and then I went right back down.
No.
Second time around, when they did the Eiffel Tower, I went and had a drink with my teacher, and we shared creme brulee instead.
No
so I was
way.
not going up there again. But yeah, it's overrated. I did not enjoy it as much as I thought it was. People like blow it up to this big sparkly city. It's dirty.
How many?
Dirty as all hell.
Interesting question. How many rats did you see?
Oh my god!
They're everywhere,
I should
They're
have kept
everywhere.
a tally. I genuinely
Oh
was
my
sitting
God.
there, and like on the second day we were in Paris, I was like, I should have
They're
been keeping
everywhere.
track of how many freaking rats.
It's
see.
disgusting.
It's terrible.
It's awful. They're
Yeah.
literally, they're so close to things. I was taking I'm like, I gotta go piss. This is my first encounter with how bad it was. So I'm like, James, man, I gotta go piss. He's like, I'm like, you gotta stop at a restaurant, because the hotel didn't let me across from where we parked. They're very fancy. I wasn't dressed accordingly anywhere we went, right?
Peasant.
Yes, 100%. So I went, and I walked. He's like, just go behind the bush there. Like, that looks like a spot. Like, dope, thanks. Walk to it. I like unzip my pants and start. As soon as I like start peeing, like 4 rats walked right in front of me, and I've never I was like, gone.
I would have lost my mind.
It was the worst moment
I've
ever experienced because they're fucking big.
Yeah, they're not like tiny little ones. They're huge.
No, yeah, they're not like the little
kids.
kids.
They go by and you think they're a fucking cat.
You're like, what the?
I was
they're
like,
gross.
oh look, a cat.
It's so
Oh,
gross.
that's not a cat. That's a rat. Like,
so
back up,
gross.
everyone.
It's the worst thing.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, Paris, go to Paris. I'm like, you'll see the Eiffel Tower. I'm like, you know what you can do? Drop a street view on Google and look at the Eiffel Tower. That's the exact same experience.
Yeah.
Going up it though, I will say it was pretty sweet. I like that.
I feel like if I wasn't as afraid of heights, it probably would have been a lot better. But I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I went up there. It was really windy because we went at night, so it was really nice to see all the lights in the city. But like,
oh, so did I.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Nice.
But like, besides that,
yeah, I'd hate to go during.
like, yeah, definitely spend a day in Paris. Go so you can say you've gone, you've done the Eiffel Tower, like, you know,
pretty
go to
monument.
Notre Dame Cathedral, like, that kind of stuff.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, poor cathedral. But like that, but I would not spend more than like a day or two in Paris. It's not like a week-long trip thing.
No, it's like stay a day, but maybe not, or overnight, but leave the morning.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Anywhere else in France is gorgeous.
Oh,
Anywhere
yeah,
else that I've been is
100%.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Paris, I would just not go back.
Yeah, I went straight through France and gorgeous, and then Paris, like, oh, Eiffel Tower, rats. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
But so, I have a really good story though about the top of the Eiffel Tower though. So, I get to the top of the Eiffel Tower, right? I did 2 things. I FaceTimed my girlfriend from the top, just because I was like, this is a pretty sweet thing. And I'm like, babe, check this out. Where are you? I'm like, check it. She's like, where are you? I'm like, Eiffel Tower. So, that was pretty cool. Excuse me. But then I'm walking around, right? I'm exploring, because I'm like, well, I'm at the top of the Eiffel Tower. James is at the bottom, because, okay, I think it was like 12 euros to go up if you were between the ages of 18 and 25.
Okay.
I fit dead in the middle. Whereas James is 26, but he doesn't have his ID, or whatever the age was. He was a year older, and he didn't have his ID, right? So he's like, no, I'll just kick it down here. So he stayed at the base of it, took photos and whatever, chilled, kicked it, met people. I go up to the top. I'm like, and I'm by myself. I'm just saying, like, when am I ever gonna be here? So I'm like, let's just fucking have time. Stayed there probably 45 minutes at the top. Just was like, well, I got nothing else to do. Like, there's Wi-Fi to take my photos and stuff and goof around that way. I was like, there's cool people. And then I started hearing people like yelling and like a speech being given. I'm like, what's going on? What's the speech? Walk around the corner and I see my favorite thing. I see like a really old couple. They're like standing like arm to like using each other to stand up straight, right? And then this waiter and like I guess like the couple is like the man's pointing. And this waiter is walking around, a couple of them with like cervezas, and he's just serve trays, sorry, and he's handing out like glasses, and they have champagne in them. I'm like, and he like hands one to me, and he's like, wait. And I was like, wait, and I was like, okay, what am I waiting for? And then the couple spoke up, and the couple said, and I can't believe this happening, but this is what happened. The couple's like, just want to thank everybody for being here and help me and my wife celebrate our 50 years of being married. Cheers. And I was just like,
okay, that's super cute.
Cutest thing ever, right?
Yeah.
I started cheersing. Yeah, it was amazing. I was like, I drank it. I was like, this is so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then put it back on one of the trays. Did my lap. The last lap went down. I was like, probably one of my top 5 favorite stories, and the only story that doesn't involve James.
It doesn't involve James.
That's also pretty funny.
Yeah, that's. I wish I had an experience like that. The only thing we ran into is we had like another school that was from Canada. They were from Niagara Falls, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
And we sang "O Canada" on top of the Eiffel
No
Tower.
way.
There's a video of it somewhere. I'll find it one day and send it to you. There's a video of us singing "O Canada."
Send me yesterday. That's so
cool.
That's awesome.
Later on. Where were we? I don't remember where we were. Wherever the hell we were. Monton. We were in Monton. Okay. So we're like walking down the street. We run into another school group with like the same company as us. We were with Explorica.
Oh, cool.
And they're like, oh, we're from St. Catharines. We're like, are you kidding me? This is the second Canadian group we've run into.
And all from Ontario.
And we sang "O Canada" again. We sang a lot of "O Canada" on that trip, oddly enough. All because we ran into other Canadians who were like, "O Canada."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so then the rest of your trip was, so from Paris, then what?
Then we went to Monton,
Right. Okay.
and we did part of Côte d'Azur.
Nice.
That was probably my favorite because you were like right on the ocean the whole time.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Beautiful, and I ate a lot of shrimp. Like
Shrimp's
a
so
lot of
good.
shrimp.
I don't blame you.
And it was nice because I was allowed to drink, but all the little kiddos I was with weren't allowed to drink. So I just sat there and I'd like drink my
Right.
wine. Sorry. And then we'd take pictures by the water. And then we went to Italy after that. We did one night in Sarsana.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to Cinque Terre, and we did 2 of the islands, the biggest one, and then the third biggest one. And then we went to Milan.
Sweet.
And
Milan's nice.
yeah, Milan was really nice. We didn't spend very long. We basically we had dinner. We did like a little walking tour near the hotel. We saw
cute.
like all the big sights of Milan, and then
Yeah.
bed, and then flew out at 4 a.m. the next
Mhm.
morning.
That's what it seemed like my trip to Italy was, except it was like the first 4 hours of every day it was showrooms and factory tours,
Yeah,
and then we do stuff.
Seriously. Can't complain.
No. Yeah, it was free.
Yeah.
It was free, so none of us. It was a crazy experience for the fact that none of us were complaining because every meal was free, every food was free,
Yeah.
and I'm just. I was like, God, this is different from last time I was here.
Yeah.
James and I are like struggling hard financially to get like items of food, and it's like, you pay for gas at the time. I have no money. You gotta pay. I got no money. Just push the car to the down, to the like, push the car and then get the downhill and just take off, right? But yeah, so very different going as a part of an organization, and then very different going apart as just
Yeah.
solo. Good
I
luck
haven't
for
gone
6
by
weeks.
myself yet. Both Europe trips I've done have been with a school.
Explorica?
Yeah,
Do this?
Florida. Yeah. We had the same tour guide both times.
Really?
Yeah, he was so cool.
Yeah.
Every time he'd need us to speed up, he'd go, zoom, zoom, everyone, zoom, zoom! And we'd go, okay.
Is he French?
Yes, he was from Paris.
Oh, nice.
He showed us his house, actually,
Yeah?
because we ended up walking by it one day.
No way.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I live
He
there.
goes, I live up there. You don't want to know how much I pay for 2 rooms. He
The
kept
what?
walking.
Probably
Yeah,
a lot.
it,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
Paris.
Yeah,
It's probably
and
really
it was
nice.
like a nice area of Paris too.
I believe
Well,
so.
nice for Paris, but
Yeah, Paris is interesting.
yeah.
I'd want to go back, I think. That's the thing, I'm not
You
sure.
think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone's like, hey, free trip to Paris. I'd be like, no. How long do I have to go there for? It's
Yeah.
kind of how I'd be. Whereas, like, free trip to France, you had these 5 cities, be like, yeah, I will go.
Yeah, that'd be much more likely for me to go.
Yeah. Cinque Terre is where James and I almost got into a fight with 3 dudes. Just like this close. I wish I was joking.
I'm sure that ended well.
Okay, it was our fault. We would have deserved it.
Oh,
And
okay.
100% wouldn't have disputed if they wanted to just beat the shit out of us. I'd been like, all right, like, I'll fight back, but you have every right to kick our ass. I'd kick our asses for this. So then what happened? James and I are like trying to find a vantage point to shoot the city, right? So what happened is, I'll find a photo, but what happened is, James and I are making it to, we're trying to go up, and we're walking and trying to find a spot where we can shoot a photo, right? And so there should be an exact photo here on his Instagram of the shot that we took. So we took a couple, but the thing with it is there was no vantage point at all, right? And so where he took this photo, shout out to J Holden 92,
That was a really nice picture.
my brother, my European photographer, the man, the myth, the legend. So he took that shot, but he took it, what we had to do is we found the vantage point, but the problem is it turned out to be someone's garden over a fence in their yard.
No.
Oh yeah, Mikaela, it was bad. So you can imagine. So we're like, how are James guys? Well, we're pretty fit guys, right? We can climb over a fence.
Mm-hmm.
Climbed over a thick ass wooden like gate fence, right? Not just a little chain link. So we hop over. We're posting up. He's like, yo, like look around, see if there's anybody. So right, so what I doing? Start looking around. Nobody. I'm like, cool. I walk down around the house. Nobody's there. There's part of me. It's like, you know what they do? If no one's home, great for now. But you know what that means? It means they have to come home eventually. So
Oh,
fast forward, whatever, we're sitting, we hear people walking up, and then James and I we hide back in the bush, right? And then we do it a couple times, and then we hide, do people are coming, so we hide back. And all of a sudden, we hear cling, cling, and I pop my head forward, and we're like, dude, they're coming in. We're like, I'm looking, we're like, fuck, like, we don't have another way out. Like, that's our way out. Fuck. I look at James, I'm like, I'm ready. And he's like, you ready? I was like, yeah. And we're like, ready, right? We're like, let's go time, right? There's 3 of them. We're like, and like, okay. They're like taller than me and bigger than me, but they're not more fit. And they're taller than James, but they're not, like, James is a pretty jacked guy. We could take it, right? Luckily for us, they spoke English, but they weren't having it. They just exactly, right? And they just wanted to know if we, like, went in their house or broke anything. We're like, no, we literally hopped over your fence to take a photo, to stand here.
We just wanted this.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I think they were like, fine, just fucking go. Like, I don't want to dispute this anymore.
That's good, because a lot of Italian people would, like, lose their minds.
Yeah.
They're like, my Noni, if you walk on her lawn, and she's lived here since she was 30. She's 86 now, okay? Like, if you walk on her lawn, she's like, oh my god, she's in the window yelling at you, throwing her hands all over the place. So, like, I'm surprised they didn't lose their minds on you. Because most would. Maybe on Cinque Terre, they're, like, more laid back. It's pretty chill there.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
There was no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No,
There was, it was one of those places that looking around, we parked. Where did you guys park? Did you train in?
We did the train, yeah.
God damn it, we should have done the
train.
Because imagine, we drove. So how far away do you think we had to park?
Oh, very far.
Oh, super far.
Yeah.
It was painful. It was absolutely brutal. And that shot was taken at nighttime. Yeah, so we shot at night. And the thing with that night is we parked pretty far. And we went down and there was like a block off, so you couldn't go down. So we go back, we post up in this like random driveway. We get out and we just walk down. And I'm like, we're running down, right, trying to make the sunset. We're sunset chasers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think next time we do that, I'm going to create a sub-vlog idea that's like sunset chasers. And I just follow James as he goes to these places. Yeah, just to challenge my idea. Yeah, I had that whole idea, right?
Yeah.
If anyone takes that idea, fuck them up.
I'm a lawyer, I'll fight you. Just kidding. No, I'm not.
Fight you with
I'll
the
try.
law.
I'll try.
Oh man, it was pretty sweet. So when we go up and we ran down, as we're running down, I'm like, dude, this is gonna suck as we're running up. I'm like, when we go up, this is gonna suck. So it did a lot. We were sweating. It was brutal because it's Italy, right?
Yeah.
It's like a bit more humid.
When did you go? Like what time of the year?
Oh, September.
Oh,
we were there in
okay.
September.
Yeah. Too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brutal, but. So when you left, actually, no. What was your first Europe trip like?
My first Europe trip was very long for a school trip to be stuck with a bunch of people I didn't particularly like. So it was 17 days, and it was for the Vimy Ridge 100-year anniversary.
Oh, cool.
So that trip was more historical.
Nice.
We did a lot more museums. We did Auschwitz, like all of the historical war stuff. Whereas this second trip was just like sightseeing.
Right.
We didn't go into any museums, which I was actually pretty upset about because I really enjoy museums.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
We went into one museum. It was like a war museum, and it was in France. And I'm not kidding you, I spent the full 4 hours walking around. Like my teacher had to like drag me out.
Nice.
So like I enjoyed my first trip more in that sense because I got to do a lot more museums. We went to go see like in Flanders Fields Museum.
Oh, cool.
We spent a lot of time in Belgium, which is just a beautiful place.
Yeah.
We did Prague, which is my all-time favorite place ever. So that trip always wins.
I got two. So, so for everyone watching and listening, Prague is really cool. You guys should check it out.
Oh my god.
Right?
Okay, so
Right?
I bought a sweater while I was there.
Oh,
okay.
fuck,
So I bought quite a few sweaters on my first trip. I learned on my second trip I don't need that many sweaters. But we were in Prague and there was like, it said like Prague on the side. It said, check me out. Like, check me out.
Yeah, I just made it. I get it. Nice.
I like
Unreal.
that sweater. It's my
fun.
favorite sweater ever. I wear it and I'm like, haha, check me out. I was in Prague.
So
And it's the small things in life.
That's my favorite joke. I made it so much.
Small things in life.
It's like, what's the best part of Switzerland? Well, the flag's a big plus.
Oh god.
Right? It's those little.
It's just things like that that get you through the day.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I love Pinterest. Anyways, yeah.
You found that on Pinterest?
Yeah, a bunch of those
I
jokes.
love that. Normally I just find them on Facebook, not Pinterest.
Pinterest is my favorite thing. I can't do Reddit though.
I, for the life of me, can't do Reddit.
I like women, so I can't go around Reddit too much.
That's understandable. I tried. I did. Yeah, it was not a good time. Every time somebody's like, oh my god, have you been on Reddit lately? I'm like, no.
I do
I'm
school.
Like, I looked at it once and I was like, this is dumb.
The jokes are funny, like there are some jokes, but a lot of them are just offensive.
Yeah, especially like the not safe for work category.
Yeah.
Ooh, not a good time.
It's all the long ones too. They're like, I don't want to read
I don't have
this.
the patience to read that much.
Yeah.
Like, I want to read like 2 lines and then move on with my life.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna get like
Yeah,
those jokes,
exactly,
the jokes.
those
It's
little
like check me out, I've been to Prague. It's like that's it. Thanks for my smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
But
So then you went to Prague.
that was like my all-time favorite part of that trip. By day 13, I was like exhausted. I had started this trip with strep throat. So like on my flight to Paris, I had strep throat. I did not sleep a wink.
Give any antibiotics?
Yes. So I went to the clinic, like, it was literally 2 days before I'm supposed to leave for my trip. My arm is breaking out like a complete rash, okay? No clue what it's from. Still have no idea what caused it. And I was like, I can feel myself getting strep throat. Because I've gotten it millions of times for some reason. And I was like, I know what this is. So I go to the clinic and I look at the lady. She's from Russia. She's got like a heavy Russian accent.
Can you redo her accent for me?
No,
Sure.
No, I cannot. That's one accent I cannot do for the life of me.
Yeah.
But I looked at her and I explained, I was like, I'm going to Europe for 17 days. And I was like, I'm 95% sure I had strep throat. She like looked in my mouth and she goes, not even gonna bother testing, you'll be gone anyway. She goes, I'll give you like double the dosage and like double the pills and then take them until they're gone. So that was fine. It got rid of it really quick. Like within the first 3 days I was better.
You just take it twice a day?
Yeah. But the problem was because I kept taking it until I was out of pills, I was like almost out of pills and I started getting like red dots all over my stomach. And I was like, what is happening? It wasn't like anything gross. It was just red dots. I don't know. It was really weird. Thankfully, one of the moms on the trip was a nurse. Like normally I go to my dad with those things because he's a nurse. So I'm like, hey, Dad, what's going on with me? But he wasn't there and my phone was broken. So I couldn't even call him and ask him. So I like walked up to her. I was like, you're a nurse, right? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, here we are, like day 10 of the trip. We still got a week to go. I was like, I'm not like messing around with this. I don't want to have to go to a clinic here. And I looked at her, I was like, what is this? It was like all over my feet and it was itchy. Like I could not stop scratching. There was one point my feet were so swollen from it that I couldn't put on my shoe. We were in Amsterdam and they stopped. We had a lot of extra time one day in Amsterdam, so we went on like a hunt for windmills.
That's pretty cool.
We tried to see how many windmills we could find. It was a good time. And the first one we found, I had my shoes off because I was like annoyed of wearing them. And everybody's like, let's go take a picture in front of it. And I was like, I don't want to put on my shoes, so I walk out in barefoot. Everybody's like, Mikaela, what are you doing? I was like, my feet are itchy.
Did you guys go to the red light district?
We walked through it very quickly. We were not allowed to return.
Why not?
Because we were high school students. They didn't want us
to be
spending time in there.
Exposed.
Yeah, the parents went out that night and they did their things and we stuck around the hotel area, which was very far away from the red light district.
There's what'd you do? And I'm trying to remember. It's in Amsterdam. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anne Frank one, yeah. I didn't know you had to buy tickets before.
Oh.
Because I read in my book that like getting tickets online is better. It didn't say or else.
You had to, yeah.
And so I was there and I Snapchatted. I think because you responded to it. Like no, I see.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't go.
It's very upsetting. It was.
But I like walked around and asked a couple people how it was after, and they're like, it was sad. And I was like, no, I'm glad I didn't go in. I was having a pretty good day.
Yeah, like there was a few people that like walked out in tears from our group.
Wow.
Yeah, Auschwitz was like a whole other level of like tears, and we all walked out. We didn't talk to each other for an hour afterwards.
Wow.
Just like we were sitting on the bus,
processing.
Yeah, like processing. Like, wow, we just did that. Because like the way that they did it at Auschwitz was they took you like, if you were a female prisoner, you would have come this way and they divided you. If you were a male, you would have gone this way and then they'd take you down the route. So you would have walked into here and they would have separated the kids, and then they brought you into like the houses, and then they brought you through like the area where they burnt.
Is that in Belgium?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the Auschwitz Museum?
Well, we went to the actual site.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, which was the worst part because you literally like walked along the tracks that they would have come in on. And it was.
Oh my god.
Whew. And then they're like, yeah, you would have been in here about this long, and then you would have been dead by now. And we were like,
what?
Okay. And like our tour guide was like dead face, like nothing.
Right. He
like,
does it every day.
Oh my god. Like I couldn't even bring myself to like take pictures. I have like
Yeah.
maybe 2 pictures, like right from when we walked
How
in.
do you take photos?
And after that, I was like, I can't. Like I cannot physically bring myself to do it. We all sat on the bus afterwards, and we had like a 2-hour drive to where we were going next, and I just like, the whole bus was silent. Nobody said a word. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's not as bad, but still,
But
like you
still,
came out of
like-
there and you were like, shit.
I don't think anyone really understands what it was like back then.
No.
What drives me crazy is people who make like subtle jokes, like people who like will just throw out swastika
Yeah.
as like a joke for like you don't
really
know.
understand.
I've looked into it enough to have a conversation about it and an
Yeah.
opinion on it, but I was like, if you've done nothing about it, don't reference it at all,
Yeah.
because they did some fucked up shit.
They did, and like I didn't like.
And I didn't
Yeah,
go
we
to that
learned
extent like you
about
did to
it.
learn about it.
Yeah, like we learned about it in school, right, in history class.
Right.
But like it never really hit me until I walked in, and I was like,
Oh,
my God.
Yeah.
it was pretty freaky.
I believe it. What made it like freaky though? Was it just this
Just the
overwhelming?
way
or?
that they did the tour was they were like, you would have done this, and then they brought, there's like one of the like houses that the people would have been
Yeah.
staying in while they were, well, houses that they would have been staying in while they were there,
Shacks,
was
yeah.
the place where they had all of the luggage, all of the shoes. So they had rooms just filled with people's shoes, and it was actually like the shoes that they had taken from them when they arrived at the camp. And so like there's a room of shoes, there's hairbrushes, and like you're walking through and you're like, these belong to millions of people, and like we're just walking by it.
Right.
I was like, I can't do this. I was like, my heart's like breaking
Yeah.
thinking about it, and I'm like, holy. And it's just the way that they did the tour, which
Mhm.
made it even more like impactful. But
That's pretty good. That's cool that they do it that way, right?
yeah.
Like that's the way they should do it. I think everyone should experience that, because then, and not just that specifically, but other historic events that people are a lot
Mhm.
like very unaware of, because that's insane.
Yeah, and it just made me like enjoy history a lot more in that sense, because I was
Yeah.
like, wow, like it's nice to actually learn what did
Right.
happen, not just what people tell you.
Right. Speaking of which, there was my buddy James and I, when we were driving through like Germany, and then through Poland and down, and through Austria, Czech Republic, all those places, and then to like Romania, Bosnia, Herzegovina, if I'm saying that right.
Better than I could have done. So.
And then like Croatia and stuff, and Serbia, and then here listening to like hardcore history podcasts, shout out. But if and like listening to him like explain the war that took place involving all those places as we're driving through, it was like,
That would have been crazy.
yeah, he was like, oh, I think he said once, he was like, the border between Poland, the border between Poland and Germany, and I was like, yeah, we just drove over there.
We were
I was like, bro, we're here. So, yeah, so that was pretty.
Yeah.
It's that, yeah. It's
Crazy
that
how
learning.
eye-opening it can be when you
Oh,
go.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to that extent, but I wish, like, I'd definitely go. I think if I were to go, it'd be a whole history lesson. I think, because I only got into history after going, because it's the only way to really learn about
Yeah.
it is to
I wasn't
go places.
interested in it at all until I went. And then there was like one museum that we went to, and it basically took you, like it recreated a Jewish like, drawing a blank, grotto, not grotto.
Sure.
The shitty areas that they were stuck in, that like literally there was like ceilings they couldn't see skylight.
Chamber? I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank on the word. It'll come to me like 10 minutes from now with my luck. But like if they recreated it in the museum and they like took you through and
Concentration camp? No.
no. Nope.
Well,
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It'll come to me eventually and I'll be like, oh my god, there it is.
Alright, we'll get back to
But
it.
yeah, and like it's things like that, like as you're walking through and I was like, wow, like I'm actually like more interested in history.
Right.
And I was like, wow, yeah, I will look into that book you're telling me about and read it when I get home and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it was really eye-opening. Whereas the second trip was more like touristy sightseeing, so I definitely enjoyed the first trip more in that sense.
So let's backpedal a bit to something you said a couple minutes ago about when you were in, you said the clinic here, when you were like diagnosed for strep throat or strep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and you said, and I asked you to do the Russian accent, and you said no,
Yeah.
but it's one of the accents I can't do.
Oh
So,
no, we're not.
I want to hear some accents you can do,
I
Mikaela.
can't do any accents well. It's more of
I
just
just
like,
wanna hear
you
'em.
know when you're like messing around with people and you're like, ho ho ho, like, I'm gonna do an accent for fun. It just kind of
How about
happens.
you do one, I do one, you do one, like we'll match. I'll match. We'll throw one.
Oh god.
I have some awful ones too.
I can't.
Alright, can you do like like Ireland? Like, oh, fuck it.
Oh,
That's
a difficult one.
that's a
They're
gross
very
Ireland.
weird.
I
They got like a
listen
lot
to,
of
like-
different words that add
Yeah,
to
they
it.
got
Like,
some weird ones.
got some weird.
Like, oh, fuck it, mate. Like, mate, oh, I gave her a go. Yeah.
You're like in between Ireland and like Australia.
Yeah, that one was like, I'm trying to go Australian with some of it, but like, because I find I can do it when I hear people. Like, oh,
It's a lot
crikey,
easier
mate.
when you hear
Right.
how they say
Yeah.
it. Like because one of the girls in my office is from Russia, so like when I'm speaking to her, I'm like, oh yeah, I can mimic you right now. But now I'm like Russian accent. Sorry,
Right.
what does that even sound like? It's just escaped my mind. Yeah.
I'm sure you could do an accent.
Maybe I'll like casually throw one in later in the conversation,
Right.
just to like throw you off
I hope so. When you figure out,
when I figure out how to do it.
yeah, when you figure out that church grotto thing you were looking for, you'll be like, crikey! I'll be like,
Crikey,
fuck.
mate.
Yeah, there we go. We're getting somewhere slowly but surely. Wicked. So,
Ghetto.
Ghetto.
That's the word I was
You had
looking for.
grotto?
It's like grotto's not.
I was
right,
saying
but it starts
concentration
with a
camp?
G. It's like where they lived. Like they'd seclude them to like the one little section, and then
Ghetto.
they'd like build walls so it's pitch black. They never
Oh.
saw sunlight. They didn't have. Okay, ghetto. I feel much better now.
Yeah,
I got
hey,
that. That was
okay,
gonna
yeah.
drive me.
That's a couple
insane.
minutes. That wasn't 10. I was pretty bad. Came that quick. That's good. So, I think there was one moment I was in the Netherlands, and this is how I knew that there are moments when I'm traveling that I do my research about the language prior to, right? And I think the best, like the most progress made one was Ecuador, where we spent 8 months learning Spanish, like minor Spanish lessons, but like trying to learn it, Duolingoing, and like when you have a motivation because you're getting thrown into the culture like that, you want to learn it. So that motivation was there. I want to find it back soon, but I was in the Netherlands, and I guess like my buddy, the house we were staying at, she was Dutch. I hope he's not watching this, and I hope he's watching this, but I hope I get this right. I hope I get, yeah. I hope I get this right for him though.
Hopefully.
But so we were staying with his family friends, and we were in the Netherlands, and he was like, I guess it was like the term when someone does something, you can be like, dankjewel, and like that's like, I guess it's like a thank you, and they're like alsjeblieft or something. I think that's like the interaction. I think that's Dutch. I don't know.
That sounds Dutch, I guess.
Um,
I'm not very familiar with.
Oh, it must be, because then we were in the market, right? So yeah, true story. I didn't plan this either. Greatest thing happened. I'm like checking out like 2 chocolate bars, right? And silly items. I walk through, scans it, pay for it. Look at her. I'm like, dankjewel. She's like, alsjeblieft. Said, I was like, look at James. Dude, how was that? Okay. I was like, how was that? And he's like, dude, ask her. So I'm like, excuse me, how was that? Like, how'd that sound? She was like, honestly, till you asked, I didn't know you weren't Dutch. And I was like, hey,
Nice.
I'm moving.
That
I was
is
like,
the
let's
best
go.
feeling
Yeah.
ever.
There's moments like that when I'm in countries that I'm like,
Mhm. Yeah, it
Maybe
definitely
cook it.
helps. We were in Italy,
That's-
and besides the tour guide, I was the only person that spoke even a smidge of Italian. So we were at one of the gelato shops, and one of the girls with peanut allergies was like freaking out. Sorry, Casey. She's freaking out. She's like, "How do I know if there's no nuts in it?" I was like, "Oh,
shut up.
She's like,
Eat it.
she's Google translating it, like
Stop.
trying to see is there any like
Oh,
nuts
silly.
or peanuts in your like thing,
Mhm.
and like yeah, it was probably the right way to say it, but it just did not come off as the right way to say it. So we like walk into this tiny little gelato shop on this long street full of shops, And we walk in, and she goes, "Do you speak English?" And the lady goes, "No, no,
Oh, no.
little." And
Right.
we were like, "Oh
Enough
boy!"
to say
And
hi.
literally, all 6 people I was with turned and looked at me. They're like, "Mikaela, it's you." And I was like,
You just translated. I mean, you know more than I do now.
I was like,
Casey.
I don't know if I can do this. So I like walk up there and I just kind of looked at her. I was like, nuts, like arashid, and she goes, "Si." I was like, "Which ones?" And she's like, oh, like only these ones. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, "Casey, only those ones." And I'm like looking at them and I can read all the names, like I know which ones they are, and I can like make an educated guess that strawberry gelato is not gonna have peanuts in it.
Yeah, fair.
And so I was like,
Sounds
"You're
good.
safe with these ones." I was like, "These are the ones I'm going with, and I know they don't have nuts. So like, you can have those ones."
Just watch and learn,
I'm
Casey.
so scared. So she made me like order it for her. So I'm like talking to the lady. I was like, "Petito," and I was like, you know, "Fragola," and
Hey, no,
whatever.
Here we
the
go.
other
Here
one
we
was.
go.
Yeah.
Put those translated subtitles
Translated
on for you
subtitles.
there.
Fragola is strawberry. But yeah. So like everybody like in there, and this lady like as I was talking to her, she goes, "Italiano bene," and I was
Hey!
like, I didn't speak much Italian while I was there, but like it was
That's
enough
neither.
to like converse, and I
Right.
guess the accent was like nice in a sense, and she was
Because
like,
you know what it sounds like, so you're able
Yeah.
to articulate a bit.
yeah, exactly,
Right.
and like my mom and my grandmother speak it,
Mhm.
and like my grandmother only speaks it now, so like I hear it often enough that I can like get by, and the best is I can understand them, which is sometimes I can't answer.
Right.
People like said something, and I was like, "I know what you said, I just cannot respond to you in Italian." I was like, "I have no idea the words for that, but I know what you meant."
It was that time I was like with, yeah. Because you helped me out.
Oh my god.
Remember that?
I forgot
I was sitting
about
yeah.
that. What did we say?
So,
What did we call?
I think I don't have the photo because it's a new phone, but it's like testa di Cusi, something along those
Oh
lines.
yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, just tell them this. Because
Tu sei
Yeah.
una testa di cazza or something like
yeah,
that.
it's testa di Cusi or something like that.
Testa,
It was like this big dick or
testa
something.
di cazza. No, you're a dickhead.
Oh, that's what it was.
You're a
I said it.
dickhead. Yeah.
I've never been more excited. I've never like had a greater reaction because I got the person who understood what I said,
Yeah.
but I had someone who knew nothing. And then he's like she sat up and laughed, and after
Yeah.
like because it was all quiet, and I just was like I was lying on my bed, right? I'm lying on my bed and I'm reading my phone, right? I get this Snapchat from you, I'm like, so I was like, said it. Like lying down, nothing. They're like hanging out on the bed. And then she just fucking lunges up, bursts out laughing, and James is like,
What just happened?
what? It was the funniest, like, see, like those stories are like,
Forgot about
yeah,
that.
all James stories. So I appreciated that. That was fucking hilarious. That gave me enough humor to be okay with what else was happening.
Oh yes.
And so, it's funny. But speaking of which, depending on how well you know your Italian, you'll wonder why this next one's funny. So, I'm with my family, and we're all in like this pizza diner on this patio restaurant, right? It's like 15 of us. And they're like teaching me what to go back and say. So they're like, when you go back, tell your father that you learned how to say vacca gare. And I was like, do you know what that is?
I know it's not nice.
No, it's
but
not. It's not polite. So all of a sudden, I'm like, is it like vacca gare or vacca gare? Like, how is it, right? Just questioning it. And they're like, bring it down. Right? And I'm like, so you're right, yeah. I'm like, it's not fucking polite.
Yeah.
None of them would tell me what it meant either. Say, love you guys, familia. And so they, then I get home. I was like, Dad, like your dad. You know what they taught me? What they taught me about the term vacca gare. And they're like, my dad's like, what the fuck? Why'd they teach you that?
What is it exactly?
And then I go tell my Nona. She's
Oh,
89.
that's- okay.
She'll be 90 in August. And so next month, crazy. Not Asian well. But anyways, moving on. My sadness. She's like, I'm like, no, they taught me vacca gare. She burst out laughing. I was like,
Did you not like Google Translate this at any point to understand what you were saying?
did, but it didn't. I don't think I spelled it right at all.
Oh.
I tried 9
Why
different
didn't
ways.
you just like speech to text?
I don't like that. It's weird.
Well,
Oh,
like,
my
you
mic on my
probably
phone
would-
didn't work either.
Oh,
So
okay.
like,
Okay, well,
I like had
okay.
dismissed that a while ago.
Okay.
On this one, I probably would. There's something about me speaking into my phone when I'm not calling somebody that freaks
Seems
me
weird.
out.
It's really weird. I
it
don't
really
like people
does.
that like speak their texts.
No.
Weird. Just text
Hey
it.
Google. It's like,
That's the whole point of the phone, is that
Put
you
the
don't
phone
have to
text.
call somebody.
Yeah.
Just
God damn
like,
it.
text it.
Hit the button, hit the contact,
Yeah.
ring them up.
Yeah.
Basically, firing back, what happened is I was like, no, what does it mean? So you know, she said, she's like, this is what it means. She's like, it literally translates to go take a shit. Of all things, they could have taught me, right? They didn't teach me no swear, nothing. They're
No,
like, go
just
take a shit. So what happened is, fast forward to this year, I'm in Italy, and there's beggars. This beggar comes up to me, look him in the fucking eyes, and I say to him, Mikaela, look at him like, vacagare. You know what he does?
Did he take a
Put his
shit?
head straight down and just ran off.
Oh,
And I was like, I got no euros for it. I would have
it.
lost my mind. I would have front kicked him in the
That
chest.
would've
He
been
was
such a
so
good
upset.
story, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I told this guy to go take a shit, and he did right in front of me.
Can I edit this
That
out?
would be a good
Somebody
story.
can edit this out. Just redo it. Yeah, so this guy just pulled his pants down and started taking a dump. Took my suggestion, but so now, where do you think traveling fits into like the schedule of life? Because everyone's like, oh, I'll do backpack Europe after I'm done this. I'll do this, or like, oh, you should do trips, or I'll get a job first so I can pay for it.
Hey,
So, different strokes.
all of my friends, basically everything you just said, at least one of my friends has said that at some point. It's like, oh, I'll travel after I graduate. I'll travel, like, you know, when I get a job and when I've got kids. My thought process is, I want to travel before I have kids and when I have kids. You know, travel with your family. With
Bring them
you.
on.
Yeah, exactly. It'll
But-
be like a nice experience.
Yo, if you bring a fucking baby on an airplane.
I would never bring a baby on an airplane.
You bring a
I don't have the
10-year-old.
Yeah, I don't have the patience to deal with babies on
Fair,
airplanes.
and then there's
I
spouse.
would want to throw the child out of the window too. So like, I would not
Fair,
do that
it's
to other
not just-
people. Yeah.
Okay, that's
You know,
fair.
a lot of people are like, oh, it's my kid. It doesn't bother me as much. No,
It's like,
it
yeah, it
bothers
fucking
me.
bothers me more.
It
Because
would
now it's
bother me more.
embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I would not
Okay,
do that. Don't
that's
worry.
fair.
But like, I think you've got to have the experience of traveling like before you get your life together, and not in like a bad way, but just because it gives you like, I have found traveling, especially while I was in university, has given me so many experiences that I'm able to share with other people, but it's also made me grow as a person. Because the whole time I was in Europe, do you know what I kept thinking? I have an assignment due the day after I'm like landing in Toronto. I was like, I should probably do that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go travel. Not the best mindset, but it definitely taught me to like stay in the moment, because I kept worrying about this assignment, and I was like, no, bring it back. I was like, you're in Europe, you need to experience what you're doing now. And like, honestly, if you get the chance to travel and you're able to do it, do it. Figure it out with whatever like you're working around, and that's what I did with that trip. Like, it was
Yeah,
the
worked
middle of
out.
second
Stressful,
semester,
but
second
worth
year. Yeah, and I missed like a whole month of school in total
Oh
second
no,
semester.
you got to miss a whole month of school. Well, that sucks.
Well, it was for curling and then Europe, so like it wasn't
Yeah.
terrible, but it was stressful.
Best
like,
case scenario.
Best case. It worked out, but
Yeah, it did. I remember you been, like talking to me about it before. How stressed out you were. And I was like,
Well, yeah, because like I'm in university,
Yeah.
and so most people are like, oh my god, I would never contemplate doing that, but honestly, it was possibly the best.
that's what makes me better than you, Casey.
I was able to handle it. Yeah, no.
Awesome.
No, it was definitely worth it, and like you need the experiences. And you can go and not like it,
Right.
but like say that you've done it and just try to experience it.
That's my thing with people who, I like people who are open-minded to traveling, but people who shut it off as an idea before they even experience it. It's like, oh, as one buddy of mine, he like told me he'd rather drive across Ontario than across Europe, and I was like, have you driven across Europe? Because I have. I can tell you, I've done both, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
I do Europe again.
Yeah.
I don't care about driving to Thunder Bay.
You know, one of the people I know decided it was a good idea that, oh yeah, one day I'm gonna drive to the Yukon, drive from Sudbury to Yukon
Silly.
to go to Mount Logan, but won't fly on a plane to go to Europe.
You don't even go fly
I
to
was
the
like,
mountain
can you-
either. Like, you
Can you
fly
imagine
there.
being stuck in a car with somebody all the way to Yukon?
Can you imagine all the way around Europe? Talk with somebody. James and I hated each other.
It's
There were
like
moments,
you
I'm
ditch
sure.
them in a street.
Yeah, my only thing is like I wasn't as developed in my standard driving abilities,
Oh, okay.
so I couldn't
Okay.
like just.
So you
ditch him.
needed him.
Yeah, I needed him in that sense for sure. It was like, I think looking back, I should have spent more like time just like going about my own things, but I didn't have like that. I was more I was so stressed out about getting to Europe that when I finally got to Europe and once I settled in, there were a lot of times where I just chilled, but like looking back, I wouldn't change anything.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Because we can go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just know what to do next time I go.
Exactly. It's like,
if I
oh,
go to these
do
places,
this
okay,
again.
don't do this, but do this and
Yeah.
this.
It's like go to this
Yeah.
country but not to this one. Like fuck Paris.
Yeah.
But,
And when they give you free time on your like guided tours, take it. Most people like sit down on a bench and just like die because they're so tired. No, you gotta go.
shit, I get lost.
I did.
Yeah,
lost.
I got lost
I had
every
to
single
call my
like,
teacher. I was
pretty
like,
much every couple days.
Mr. Imo, he said, what?
Hey, yo, sir.
I don't know where I am. He's like, are you by yourself? I was like,
Where was that?
yes. That was when we were in Montauk.
Nice.
It was like a lot of like windy streets, and they all like crossed with each other, and then we had to make it back to a family. It was not a good time. I made it back on time, but it was a struggle.
Yeah, I believe it. There's that. That's still that process. I don't understand why people don't want to. Like at least try it. It is. My buddy Liam mentioned on my last podcast that he was like, it's not the end all be all. Like if you have goals, focus on it. But if one of your goals is traveling, do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do it.
I intend on traveling again. I'm gonna not do it in the middle of the semester this time, just to like save myself a little bit of stress. But because I'm gonna plan it for myself and a couple friends, and we'll go like after the school year.
You and your girlfriend are just going to hit up. Where'd you go?
We're Italy. So we're all Italian. All of our families are Italian.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they're graduating this year, so they wanted to do something because they're graduating, and they're like, "Why don't you come?" And I was like, "Yes, please, let's go."
Right. Speaking of which, did you end up going when your friend last year? Or?
I'm so sad. Okay, so she actually leaves tomorrow. She's leaving tomorrow for France, and she's
going
going
to drop you up at the airport, like.
I wish. She's going for school. She's doing a course in France for the month.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's like a week between the end of her course and the beginning of the semester here. And she wanted to go to Italy during that week.
And you were gonna...
So she was like, you should come. And I was like, yes, I'm so down. Because my job won't let me.
What?
Because my boss is strict. To
What?
put it nicely.
Well, it's a week left.
I know, and one of the other summer students is ditching that week too.
Just piece the fuck out.
I know, I should have.
Can.
I can, but she's already made other plans now for mom, so it's like,
because you're like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. And I get my wisdom teeth removed that week too.
Yeah, so it'd probably be schwack anyway. Probably wouldn't be the greatest time.
Yeah.
What's with you? Like, you can go and travel. That'd be like the second trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Traveling, you got fucking mouth issues.
Well, yeah, it's 2 oral surgeries in 1 year. Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, it's not a good time.
No,
not a good time at all.
So that's where you feel it fits in.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to make it.
Whenever I get the chance to, I will. Didn't work out this summer, but I'm going somewhere October reading week with my family. We're going to Florida.
Nice.
And then my friends want to go somewhere Christmas reading week. And then hopefully I make it to nationals and get to travel somewhere else in Canada again.
Hopefully it's not like Montreal.
I wouldn't really complain about Montreal.
That's fair.
It's not Sudbury,
right.
so
I've just been a
complain.
few times because like Ottawa.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
too close. So
I've
people
been
are like,
once, so like I'd do it again.
Right, that's like man. Seems like that people are weird, but they're like, oh man, I'm going on a trip, going to Ottawa.
And you're like, Ottawa, yeah.
Been there.
Lived there for a while.
Yeah, it's like Ottawa's a sweet city though, 100%. Like you got to see the end of like as if you stayed in Chateau Laurier. Come on.
We didn't stay in it.
What do you mean?
We ate dinner in it.
That's even better.
Yeah, it was like a giant buffet. Oh my god, they had
I'd be so nervous in it.
They had like a lobster and spinach dip to die for. Okay.
I'm hungry.
And they had like a pita bread with it, and I was like, oh my god, this is delicious. Literally the best thing ever. Am I going to Model Parliament again this year solely so that I can eat at Chateau Laurier?
Yeah. That's a 12 out of 10, yes.
Yes, 100%. It's gonna happen.
So what's Model Parliament like? Take me through it. What's that like?
Model Parliament.
And you just sign up? Like, could I sign up?
It's for Laurentian students. Sorry. Any Laurentian students come to Model Parliament. It's a blast. It might sound lame. It's fun. So you sign up and you pick like your party preferences. You like list it 1 to 6. 1 to 6, the other 6. Yeah. And then they put you into a party, and like a little bit before, like each party, the party leader has like a bill that they've created that they're gonna try and pass in Parliament.
Right.
I've been with the Liberal Party the last 2 years just because I knew the party leader, and they were like, join my party, and I was like, sure, why not? Let's have a good time. This year I think I'm gonna like mix it up a little and go Bloc Québécois or something, and just do my whole speak in like broken French just to piss people off. So I think that's my plan. But anyways, so you get into your party. Some people will have like bill critiques. Some people will introduce our bills, and some people just have member statements, which is like 1 minute of them talking about whatever the hell they want to talk about.
Right.
So first year I went, we were actually like in Parliament, but because they're renovating it, this second year we were at Mackenzie King building. Still fancy, still really nice.
It's so gorgeous, yeah.
But then next year we should be in like the temporary house, and so hopefully that's nice. Right. But you basically spend the whole day in Parliament. We yell at each other, we say shame a lot, we yell shame a lot, and we make fun of each other. It's not like anything serious at all. There's some people that
sounds pretty serious.
You would think that it'd be like super
right?
serious, right? Like at first I was like, that's pretty lame. Like, why would I want to do that? I'm not into politics. And then I went, and it's like it's
pretty fun.
It's a joke. Like we laugh at each other, and we like get up and we walk out if we don't like something somebody said, and so you do that for the whole day. You dress up, and then at night you eat dinner at Chateau Laurier, and then you have the next day to yourself. So like we're all getting pretty hammered that night, and then we sleep in, and then we go shopping, and then we leave. And it's just 3 days of fun. You get to go to Ottawa, like beginning of the semester.
Probably
it's
my
not
favorite
bad.
city to live in.
Yeah, and like it's nice.
It's the greatest.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun.
The last time you went was when I saw you there? Or was it? No. You went? Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was
No,
the first
yes.
time I went.
Yes.
No, that was the first time I went.
Oh,
Because that's when I was with.
Because you've gone twice.
Yeah, I went my first and second year.
Right.
So the first year I roomed with a bunch of like fourth year students, and it was like kind of awkward at first because like, oh my god, here I am, like little miniature first year me. And
So you've gone twice so far?
Yeah.
You went this year, like recently?
Like this January.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, it was the first time.
So it was in January.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a good time. I liked it. It was a good experience too, and I got to meet a lot of people from a bunch of different programs, and I actually got like swooped into a couple like clubs from that. People were like, "Hey, come help us out," and I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Very good. That was the first time we ever hung out. You were at Model Parliament.
Yes.
Remember?
That's right. And
that was weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I was like, fuck it.
Logan thought it was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
And looking back, I can understand that.
I
like,
thought
it was a good time.
Yeah, like after we were like, oh, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
It was like right before I was like, because I was just thinking, I like open mind, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't like, how's this gonna be obvious? No, 100% open mind. I'm just like, one thing that did cross my mind though, I was like, we've never actually talked to each other. How is this gonna go?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like our conversations now though. They're a lot less about one person and more about everything
Much
else.
better
It's
now.
great. So yeah, tell me about your trips.
More about travel.
100%
Love that.
talk about it all day.
Yeah.
I know you can too.
Oh, all day, every day.
So we'll do our like separate like traveling podcast.
Okay.
We could do that. That'd be cool. Yo, fuck it, let's do it. That'd be a cool one.
I'm in.
Once you finish up,
Yeah.
once you end up working in Sudbury, I'll get this thing going. I'll like branch
I'm
off
so
and do a
down.
travel podcast. Run out of my studio. Years down the road. So, what is one thing you could change about yourself? If you could, what would you want to do?
Like anything?
Like anything. It could be your
How
height.
often I procrastinate. Does that count?
Yeah, 100%.
It's actually really bad. You would think for like a law student, like I'd get used to deadlines, but I kind of go, oh, it's due next Monday.
Due next Monday.
Due next Monday, or due Sunday night, and
Right.
then like hand it in right at 11:58, a minute before it's due. I'm really bad for that. How I have such good marks like amazes me because I literally do everything last minute. I have planned essays and done all the research a month in advance and then not actually written the essay until the day before. A 12-page paper the day before. Yeah. I have some regrets about that. I'm hoping, I'm really working on trying to change that around this year. So my problem last year was when I was dating this guy, I'd spend like a lot of time hanging out with him, and I'd just kind of be like, I can do my assignment another time. Like, let's go hang out.
Let me guess, made you feel bad for not hanging out with him?
Potentially.
That drives me crazy.
Potentially.
Like, I'm so grateful my girlfriend doesn't do this. It's like making me feel bad when I can't hang out with them.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah,
You're
now
being
I'm
a
just pissed
fucking
off.
asshole.
And that's just not a good time because you don't even enjoy hanging out.
Yeah, because
and then you
you're
still
pissed
have
off.
an assignment to do
Yeah,
afterwards.
it's like now nobody's happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm
exactly.
now I'm the same,
Yeah.
except I'm with you now.
Yeah. So hopefully, like this year, because I have friends that like actually like go into the library. I didn't step foot in the library and actually do work in the library until the end of second year. Like when I got back from nationals, that was the first time I had like actually done work in the library. Yeah, I know. Second year, like university
Law
student.
student.
Yeah, second like law
Soon to
student.
be law
nonetheless.
student.
Yeah,
Soon to
you would
be.
assume I would have been in the library. No, never. I was like, I'd just be like, oh, I'll do it at home or I'll do it at his house. It's
You
fine.
used it, yeah.
Now I'm like, yeah, I actually need to like get my shit
How do you
together.
find focusing at like a significant other's house while working on school stuff?
I didn't have that hard of a time with it. It was usually okay. He'd just go and like game in the corner, and then I'd sit on the bed.
Plug away.
Yeah, and I'd just do the review or whatever, type my essay, and it was nice because sometimes I'd like bounce ideas off of him, but
That's
usually
good.
he'd be like, I don't know. I was like, that's no help. Call my dad. Dad, I need help. He's like, are you what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing a paper. I need help. Does this sound stupid?
That's funny.
But like sometimes it was okay, and then other times when I just like really wasn't motivated, it didn't help. That I was like, I could just be like sitting over there watching Netflix right now,
Mhm.
and I'm stuck here writing a paper.
Right.
So this year I definitely need to focus more. Maybe sit in the library more.
Yeah, like it's a nice facility here. I don't know. When I was in school, I was able to. My favorite thing is I'd work, get to school probably around like 11, right? 10, 11. I'd grind all day till about 6, right? And then I'd leave, right? My schooling was amazing. This is how I did. I'd wake up 9, eat, whatever, leave, get there before like I'd take a 10:18 bus. So I'd get there and how close it was. Like it's not far
Yeah.
from my school. Anyways, it's like a fucking 8-minute drive from my house on the bus to the school. So I'd get off, right, go work in the lab, go to class, do whatever. Leave around 6. Go train jiu-jitsu for an hour and a half. Take my time coming back because like the people there are dope. Like such great people. Like I fucking love them. And they're like, shout out, you're all amazing. I love them all. I learned so much. And so then I'd leave. I'd go back, and if like everyone was working at school and we had a deadline, I'd go back to school. But I'd go back to my house, like fucking throw on TV, and then I'd just like, because like that's what like my free time was jiu-jitsu. So I had that where it's like this is my break, and it's because everyone's like you work out. Well, I'm too stressed to work out. Okay.
It relieves so much stress.
Oh, it's amazing, right? It's like now we'll put the workout scenario in where it's like, so you have someone who's bigger than you, stronger than you, quicker than you, knows more than you, and you have to prevent them for 8 minutes at a time, them not breaking your limbs or them not choking you. My essay that's due next week,
Not a thought in your
not really
mind.
much of a thought in my head. It's like I got slept today at training. Like I was in like this guy named Bubba who's about 300 pounds. I
Oh,
think.
that's a great name. I love that.
Yeah, he was on my second podcast show, but he was like, he's hilarious. And he had my back, and I just would not let it. I was like, fuck. And like I felt myself going out, so I'm like, that'll be fine. Turn into it, and like all of a sudden I'm like fucking just seeing shit, I'm like having a good time, and then all of a sudden I'm like feeling myself, and he's like, dude, you should have tapped. And I was like, what? And he's like, dude, you went out. I was like, oh fuck, I guess I did. And he's like, yeah, bro, you should have tapped. I was like, no, I'm fine.
You're just stubborn.
Yeah, 100%.
Boys
I
are
want.
always stubborn.
Yeah, boys are stubborn. But, yeah, so I should have. But so procrastination. What is a relationship deal breaker for you? What is one thing that in a relationship is like they do this, and not like the usual like, oh, if he hacks darts all the time, or if he, like something that's like you specific,
if they can't have like a serious conversation with you, like if you bring up an issue, like something that's bothering you between the two of you, and you bring it up to them and they just like refuse to talk about it, and they go, well, I'm sorry, that's just who I am, and then they change the topic. To me, that's like a big like ding 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 red flag, hello.
Right.
Like if they can't have a conversation with you now about the fact that you're upset, and usually it's something minor, but like if it upsets you enough that you want to talk to them about it, how are they going to talk to you like if you're married and you're having issues then? Like, you know what I mean? That's probably like my biggest thing. Then I'm like,
right, because then the issues are now big, and
yeah,
now we're
and
in
bigger
a relationship,
consequences,
and then there's kids.
more to think about. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, what is your biggest regret in life so far?
Quitting curling once upon a time. 100%. So I was a competitive curler. I had done like a spiel in grade 5 with my elementary school, and it was just kind of like the principal went around, she's like, I'm going to put a team into the bond spiel. She's like, who wants to do it? And I was the kid that said yes to everything. Like I tried everything when I was younger. So I was like, yeah, I want to do it. And so we did this bond spiel, and my friend did it, like my best friend at the time did it with me. Love you, Haley. Good times. Haley. Yeah, all I remember is curling. There's so many cute little pictures of us running around.
They will be up.
They will be up. No, you don't want to see me when I was that young. But we like, her parents sat there and looked at my parents, because my parents like only came for 1 or 2 games, and like, your kid is like a natural at this. Like she knows what she's doing. Put her in lessons. And so my parents asked me if I wanted to, and I was like, yeah, sure. Like happy-go-lucky, like grade 5 kid, and I was like, I'll do it,
right.
Whatever. And so I did like Little Rocks, which is basically like introduction to curling, for like 1 year, and then I got asked to join a competitive team. So in grade 8, I'd say, is when I had started like competitive curling for sure. And I went until grade 12. Grade 12, because in my victory lap I wasn't curling competitively, and I quit because I was annoyed with people, and I was frustrated, and I was like, it's taking up a lot of my time, and like I just don't like it anymore, and so I quit. And I still regret it to this day, because they won provincials that next year, and they went to like U21 nationals, and I was like a hot mess. I was like, I could have been on that team, like this
I could have been me.
And I
God
like,
damn it.
Yeah, and like at first, like I thought, like, no, I'm done with curling. Like I'm over it. I don't love the sport anymore, right. So I'm not going to do it. Why would I do something I don't love? And that year off showed me that, oh yes, I do love curling, and I cannot live without it. So that's probably my biggest regret.
Nice that you quit curling when you did that. Huh?
Yeah, I went back to it, so now I'm back into it, but
nice.
I regret that for sure.
But what are they going to do if they see like fight you? Please.
No, I'm not worried about that.
Mess them up. Mess them up for you, girl. So, speaking of which, backtrack to Chateau Laurier and the model pilot. Yes. If you need like a personal security guard,
I'll be sure to hit you up.
I know your new friend is Jack 3D and looks like fucking house music, but like he can be your support crew. I'll just be like the muscle.
Okay, I'll make sure I can get you in. Okay, so I'll bring you along. I got you. I always got you.
Yeah, cook.
Especially when it comes to good food.
Thank you. Is that Italian?
And the architecture in there? Beautiful. Sorry.
I didn't even explore it. I like went in once with my buddy to just like check out the mezzanine for an assignment, and I was like, we showed up in like construction neon with like blue boots and jeans, scuffed up, and everyone's in suits in the lobby looking at us. And we're like, shit, we're not supposed to be here. So
I went in there in like a not too fancy dress, and people were like,
what's this? And you're like, I'm pretty right now. So, referring back to that dude that I mentioned in that, do you have any like weird, funny, hilarious like guy stories? Because I know as a dude I've said some things, done some things to women, for women, around women that I regret. None of it. But
you regret none of it?
Yeah, but I regret none of it.
Okay.
No regrets. You know? So well, we'll see. All right, so do you have any that like stand out to you, or ones that you?
Oh Lord, there's always guy stories. Yeah, always. I feel like every 5 seconds I'm telling my friend about another. Like, haha, listen to what my friend told me about this guy, or listen to what happened to me. I think my top story is probably, my friend was telling me this story, and she had like just broken up with her boyfriend, and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna have some fun, I'm gonna go hook up with a couple dudes. So they're like hooking up in the back of a parking lot in her car, and then in the middle of it he just like then stops, and he's like, yes.
Like insider.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. So she's like, he just stops. And I was like, I'm losing my mind at this point.
I'd be so upset
why?
about her.
And he's like looking at her, and he goes, I just look at you. And she's like, what? How did this guy leave you? And he starts talking to her about her ex in the middle of all of this. And I'm like, who does something like this?
I am crying. Yeah, that's how you get her going, bro.
Yeah, like just stops and starts talking about her ex. Good, like apparently a good 5-minute conversation about it too. And I was like, I would have lost my mind.
I would have left.
I see ya.
would have left. That is no.
Boys, take notes. Like, who does that? I know it's like just for fun, but like, who does that?
That ain't fun. Bet you that girl didn't have a blast with all that out. She's probably like, get your fucking sweaty chest off me.
So weird. And then like, you've got guys that just kind of act like, I'm so great, like I'm the best thing that'll ever happen to you. And then you have the other guys that go, oh my god, like a hot girl is talking to me. I need to like latch myself onto her immediately. And they just like cling. And this recently happened to me. And just like immediate, like almost in love with you, like, oh my god, we're gonna get married. And I was like, it's been like a month.
So that sounds like a similarity of, excuse me, when you see the sharks, and you see like fish underneath it swimming, and they're like lashing because they want to be protected and like get what the shark gets.
Yeah.
You know?
There's just like no
scenario.
in between lately with guys. You either have like the one who doesn't really give a shit and doesn't actually like want to talk to you, but is talking to you because you know they can get something out of it, and then the guy who the guy who wants to like marry you right away, and you're like, whoa,
settle down there, chief.
Take a breather.
Pump the brakes there.
Yeah, take a breather. Another good, well, it's just kind of funny because I dated this guy. We were in grade 9. It was a long time ago. We didn't date long, like 2 months, okay? And like, I wasn't really necessarily devastated by the breakup. Like, I was upset. I was like, oh, darn, he doesn't like me.
Shed 2 tears.
Yeah, basically, 2 tears. Yeah. And then I was like, over it. And then a couple weeks later, his friend was mad at me. I don't know why. And like, they messaged me on his phone, like, you know, bitching at me about God only knows what. And I was like, what does it matter? Like, we're broken up. What does it matter? He came out as gay a while ago. Yeah. So like everybody always jokes about it that I turned a guy gay. Which I know like not the greatest term, but it's funny because I was the last girl he ever.
Yeah, I would look that as a positive, as like if you can't make him straight, like if he wasn't straight with you, then he's like, well, can't get any better than this. That's probably what went through his head. He was like, huh.
That's a good way to look at it.
I'd look at it that way, yeah. Glass half full type shit.
We're still good friends. Every time we like see each other, we talk and hang out.
You're like, yeah, that guy's cute. I know.
No, not for you.
No,
unless you're doing that for you. No.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my good story from high school.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't think I have any university ones really. Not yet.
As if what?
It amazes me what like goes through guys' minds sometimes. Like they say things and you're just kind of like.
What are some things that have been said and you're like, why would you? What process goes into coming up with that and putting it in words to me?
Oh.
It's like I'm a female woman. I want to not hear about the crap you're about to spew, because it's mostly verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, they just start like spitting shit out of their mouths.
You're like, I don't care. You never do.
I don't have a specific example off the top of my head. It's usually surrounding them making a joke about them being gay with their best friend and like, oh, you should shave before we do anything. Stupid things like that. And like they just like talk to you about these things. Or they'll like, the worst is when they full on.
Here we go.
Oh,
let me know.
They have a full on conversation with you about their ex, okay? Which is fine. You gotta like say, yeah, I dated this girl and this is what happened.
Right.
Okay, I understand that. I do the same. Like, yeah, I dated this guy for a couple of years. Whoop-de-doo. But like, a full-on like 30-minute conversation about it is a little much.
Like
I
you
don't want to
don't
know
get
every single detail about your ex-girlfriend.
What type of, like intimate details, or like?
Not like.
She was this size, bro.
Okay, no, not
Okay.
that into
Okay.
detail,
Alright, so
but
that's
like
where,
enough that I was like, dude, how is this helping you? Then he leads into, oh yeah, she texted me yesterday and asked me to hang out, and I was like, why would you tell me that?
It's like you see.
What? Like, so, excuse me? Like,
It's like,
it's not working well for me.
shoot your phone.
I was like,
What are you doing?
you should have led with that at
That's
least.
so silly.
Yeah, or just don't tell me. That works for me too.
Yeah, it's like it's the not knowing
Yeah.
in this scenario is safe.
Yeah, especially if you're not dating
Right.
and you're just kind of like feeling things out, seeing each other. Like, I don't really need to know those details.
Right. What's your take with online dating?
Go for it.
Go for
Have
it.
fun. Why not? I did it. Yeah. It was interesting.
Well,
it was
yeah,
interesting. It worked out. I ended up dating the guy, and we did it for a long time. But now I go on there, and it's all like 26-year-old guys who live in their mom's basements.
Oh, those are the ones. Those are the ones you
Sorry
want.
if any of you are 26 and living in your mom's basement.
23 and second floor.
Second floor. There you go. At least you're on the second floor. But yeah.
Watch out, basement bunkers, because coming for you. Coming for all your family. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Locked up. Sorry,
You're
ladies.
so cute. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made like online dating fun for you? Like what made it work for you?
I didn't
Like how
actually
did that
have
all
to.
process go?
It was fun because I didn't actually have to meet the people. I'm really bad when I first meet people. Like, I'm super nervous and like I barely say anything, or I talk like too much. Like the first time I hung out with this one guy, I literally talked the whole time. I think he said like maybe 10 words. And
Hi,
then
my
he,
name is I'm Mikaela.
And I was like right in there, and like he just didn't contribute at all. Like we were both really nervous, and I just started like spewing and spewing. It went on for like 2 hours, and afterwards he's like, "You talk a lot." I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." He goes, "No, it's fine. I didn't know what to say
You
either."
said that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
another example of why the fuck would you say that?
yeah, yeah. That's a good
silly.
example.
Oh my god.
That's a good example.
Dude.
Yeah. So at least I don't have to like meet them. I'm good at like having like text message conversations with people, but like as soon as I meet them in person for the first time, I panic. So it was fun because I got to know the guy through his messages without actually having to meet him. And if he was a douchebag, I just didn't have to answer him.
Yeah, we probably should.
I didn't have to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not interested." Just stop answering.
Right.
It was a good time. Got rid of it.
You started to say like, I don't want to see you anymore. It's like, well, you don't see them, and then it's not that bad.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. And they're just on that one social media. You normally don't add them until you're like sure you want to talk to them, you know, like on Snapchat or like text messages. So even if you do hang out with them once and you're like, ooh, like no, you just never answer them again.
Right.
Unmatched, goodbye.
I had a buddy whose like Tinder game was like the most hilarious thing to me because he would like tell me he had a separate Snapchat just to give to
Oh,
girls.
that's
He was on his
interesting.
Tinder. Yeah, he was like
Interesting.
25 when I was in fucking second year. He like knew his shit. He was like, like I guess he like did soccer in Brazil and like all the women there are like into it. So he was like he was telling me all this stuff that he says and stuff they did. I was like, what's happening?
I didn't like fuck around that much with online dating.
Yeah, well he
but
did it bad.
there's some people that do. Like they get
I don't know.
creative
Yeah.
in the ways that they handle it.
What's like the greatest bio you've ever seen? Or like the greatest opening line? Like I would open with
Opening
like
line.
Prague. The Prague one would have
Oh,
been
the
fun.
frog. That would have been a good one. That would have been a good one. I
You'd have been
definitely
like,
would've-
my number is.
Yeah, I would have been like, okay, we're gonna talk now. Like we're new best friends. Like let's go. So I have like a picture of our curling team, like with our nationals trophy on. Well, I did on my bio, and
She's off the market, boys.
Off the market. So sorry. And one guy literally messaged me. He goes, "Ooh, national champ, congrats!" And I was like, "You didn't try to be like gross. You commented on the trophy. I'm quite content, and you know I'm a national champion now. So like, I'll take it."
It's like you think I'm dope now.
That's what he opened up with, like,
That's
nice
smart.
trophy. And I was like, that was very smart. That was very smart. And he would have had to scroll through the pictures because it was like the third picture. I was
Ooh.
like, ooh, smart, very smart. I like
You didn't
that.
just go, oh, she's cute.
Yeah, Like, he
Match.
commented. To be fair, he's in sports psychology and he's like super into sports, so he was
So
like, and he knew
he
one
was
of the girls on
looking
my
for
team.
that photo.
Yeah,
Oh,
he knew one of the
nice.
girls on my team too. So yeah. But that's like the best opening line
Yeah.
that I've
that
received.
you received.
The rest are all just gross.
Yeah,
Very gross.
I've never seen any. I've seen some. What about bios? Because I don't know. Like I've never been on Tinder. Never opened up an account. Never just made one for fun. I've had people want to make ones for me. I had a buddy though who used, like, I don't know, it was weird. It's like, you're not doing me a favor. I don't want that to happen. You know?
That's really weird.
Fuck right off. So yeah, I had a buddy though, like, who like put me as his, like, in his photos.
Oh no.
To get, and like he's told me that women would be like, hey, like, oh, the guy, like, it was a photo of me and him in like a canoe, right? I'm in the
Yeah.
front, he's in the back. Horses in the back. And so what he
God, no, not that song.
sorry, and so yeah, just I'm done. So what he says, he was like, shit. He was like, tell me this one time that like this girl messaged him, was like, hey, like started talking with him, right? And then like minutes into the conversation was like, your friend in the back of the boat's pretty weird looking, but you're pretty cute. And he's like, I am the one in the back of the boat.
That's such an
I was like,
unfortunate
oh.
situation. You gotta be careful. You gotta make sure that it's clear which friend you are.
And in that scenario, don't pick one that's I'm going to use the word significantly, if I'm correct to do so.
Okay.
Significantly better looking than you.
Yeah.
That's something you don't do.
No, and if you do, you gotta make sure they're in the back.
Yeah.
Because you would assume, like, if you're putting that on your bio, that you're gonna be the person in the front,
Right.
right? So you would assume you put the attractive person in the back and like out of sight,
Mhm.
not front.
Yo, and it was a bad day too. Like I had done something with my eyebrows. Like, okay, swear to God. So it was like messing with my eyebrows and like I shaved the middle, right? My
Okay.
girlfriend plucks it now, so it's fine.
Okay,
Nothing
take
funny.
care of yourself. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, so I shaved too much on one side. So what did I do, Mikaela? I did that much on the other one
Oh
to
no.
even it out. So you could let's see your fist, make a fist. You could fit that in between my eyebrows.
That's like all of my eyebrows.
Fuck, eh? Like right there.
Literally all
Swear to
of
God,
my-
I like cut like to that. You can see it if you look in the photo.
Lordy.
Yeah, right? And you look at it and you're
Oh,
like,
no.
Glenn, it was a bad photo. And so that's why I was
apparently
like,
it worked for you.
Yeah, well.
He could have just started giving girls your number for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
you like that guy? Yeah, here you go. Here's his number.
I told him, I was like, yeah, you should. Nah, don't do that. It's silly.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
But
You gotta learn. You gotta take the good photos. Good photos.
yeah, fuck. You guys are fucked up. But
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they are.
on that note,
So sorry. No offense to you.
guys are fucked up. I'm agreeing with you. It's okay. No, you're
Nothing
not.
towards you, as far as I know.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong. But yeah, I have my moments though.
I think everybody does, even girls.
Yeah.
I've had stupid moments.
Yeah, but like as an overall, I think guys are just, I don't know what it is.
I don't know, and I assumed once I got to university that it'd be like
It's worse.
better,
It's worse.
and that they'd be more mature. 100% worse.
Yeah, there are and they aren't. Like,
There's either the
I'm a
really weird
weird
nerdy
example.
guy that can't really like talk to anybody and tries hitting on you, or there's like the really gross guys that just want to sleep with you and they just keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying.
it's like,
I
yo,
was
fuck
like,
off. I
oh.
admire your persistence, but
Yeah, and they're just still not mature. Still not mature. I can't
Right.
even. I've tried. It's not working.
soon, Mikaela. I
Soon.
feel it for you.
Soon.
I feel it for
I
you.
feel it too.
Yeah. Unreal. On that note, thank you very much for coming on.
Anytime.
I appreciate it. If you guys haven't, subscribe, like, follow Mikaela, and admire her national champion trophies. So, take it easy, guys.